In this video, we'll learn how to pass a payment voucher in Tally Prime. So first we'll understand what is payment voucher. A payment voucher is used to account all the payments made by the company by cash or through a bank. So we'll go to Tally Prime and we'll see how the payment voucher will be displayed and what are the features we have in payment voucher, what are the things we need to take care while passing a payment voucher. So we have already opened a company called Avanayukta Solutions and we are in Gateway of Tally. So to pass a payment voucher, we'll go to our voucher options here, and by default the first voucher itself will be a payment voucher, and in the right hand side the shortcut key panels we have a payment option. The shortcut key is F5. So at present it is not highlighted because we are already in a payment voucher. So if we are in a contra voucher, for example, so the payment option will be highlighted. You can press F5 or a payment option by using a cursor, so that a payment voucher will be open. And in this payment voucher, you can pass in two different modes. One is single entry mode and the other one is double entry mode. So what you are seeing, this is in single entry system, where it is asking accounts first, then a particular amount. So in this payment voucher, accounts will be always act as credit, and it will take cash or a bank ledgers. As I said before, payment voucher is used to account all the payments made by the company by cash or bank. If you are making a payment, then bank or cash, either any one of these two ledgers has to be credited. So in this voucher, account will act as credit and displays a cash and bank ledger. We have created a new company. In this company, we have not created any ledgers. So when you create a new company, by default, you will be having a cash and a profit and loss account as a default ledgers in company. Other than that, whatever the ledgers we want, we need to create as per the requirements. For ledger creation part, you can go through the ledger creation video and you can understand how to create a ledgers. So this is the first method. So if I want to go with a double entry system, then in the right hand side panel we have an option called change mode. We go with the option called change mode here. So it will ask whether you want to go with single entry mode or a double entry mode. We go with double entry mode here. So we get by and to, and it will be passed in double entry system. So if you are not familiar with buy and to, if you are familiar with debit and credit, we go with F12 configuration and we enable use credit or debit instead of to and buy during a voucher entry as yes. So once you enable this option, you can see before it was showing buy, now it is showing as debit. So as I said before, in a payment voucher, credit should be a cash or a bank. So the first ledger it is asking for debit. So there is no ledgers has been created. So the cursor is showing as create option to pass a payment voucher. So let's go with a payment voucher. So we'll pass one transaction. So the transaction will be traveling expenses rupees 10,000 and food expenses rupees 5,000 paid by cash. So to pass this transaction, we need to create a traveling expenses and a food expenses ledger. So we go to Tally Prime. So we'll create a ledger called traveling expenses under indirect expenses. So my traveling expenses will be grouped under indirect expenses, and we'll accept the screen by using Ctrl A, and the amount will be 10,000 rupees, and again we go with debit food expenses. Even the food expenses is not created, we go with create option. We'll create a ledger called food expenses. Under indirect expenses, our food expenses will be 5,000 rupees. So altogether we paid this through cash. See, we have not created a cash ledger, but it is showing a cash. So if it is credit, then the cash and bank ledger will get displayed in the list of ledgers. So we go with cash, 15,000. So whenever you pass a transaction, your debit amount total should match with your credit amount total. So if you see a current balance for cash, it is showing in red color, which means it is in negative. If you are getting in a black color, then it is a normal transaction. If it goes to a red color, then your cash is in negative, which means you doesn't have a cash in your pocket, but still you are making a payment or expenses transaction. And we have a narration here. So for each and every transaction, we need to give a narration and make practice giving a narration for each and every transactions, so that in a future date we can easily identify or analyze this transaction. So we can give a narration here as being expenses amount paid by cash, and we'll accept the screen. So this is how you can pass a payment transaction in double entry system. Even the same transaction can be converted into single entry system. So we'll open the same transaction by using a page up option key. So if you want to change the payment voucher from single entry mode to double entry mode, we go to a change option here and we select single entry mode. So once you select a single entry mode, the transaction immediately changes to single entry mode and you can accept the screen. So you can change your modes, like from single entry mode to a double entry mode, at n number of times, whether before passing a transaction or after passing a transaction. It doesn't affect your data. So we'll accept this. So next we go with our next example of a payment voucher. Staff salary paid rupees 1,50,000 rupees through check. So if you are getting a check option in a transaction, which means you are paid through bank account. So we need to create a ledger called staff salary and a bank ledger. So we go to Tally Prime to pass a transaction. So in accounts we have only cash. We'll create a bank ledger. So you can press Alt C with a shortcut key, or you can use a create option here. So we'll create a bank ledger under bank account and we'll accept the screen by using Ctrl A. See, now I'm getting only cash and bank ledger in a accounting field. So this field will act as credit. So next, if it comes to a particulars, we are getting expenses ledger. So this transaction is expenses for staff salary. So it is not created. We go with the create option here and we'll create staff salary. And it should be grouped under indirect expenses. We'll accept the screen. So the amount will be 1,50,000 rupees. We'll accept the transaction by giving a narration like being salary paid to staffs for the month of April 2020, so that we can easily identify this transaction, this salary is being paid for the month of April, and we'll accept the screen. So this is how you can pass our payment vouchers. And in this payment vouchers, if you want to add some features or if you want to disable some features, you can go to F12 option. You can enable or you can disable these options as per your requirement. So this F12 configuration will be available in each and every voucher types. So you can go through this F12 configuration, and if it is required for you, you can enable and you can pass a transaction accordingly. So we'll come with this F12 configuration in our upcoming videos, and we'll accept this transaction. Thank you.